of Tommy McLean. 1 point from a possible 12 out of the League Cup to Ross County, and McLean resigning this afternoon. And United haven't been hanging around. St Johnstone boss Paul Sturrock will be confirmed as United's new boss within the next half an hour. Extra time turned the focus on Tommy McLean last weekend before the club's latest defeat at Motherwell. The manager knew exactly what was required.
We haven't had the best of starts, we haven't had the best of programmes to begin with, and we haven't had the best of personnel available to us. So hopefully once one or two of these things settle down, that we'll get the show up and running and get back into a challenging situation.
Tonight, 7 days later, McLean spoke of being judged on results and failing to achieve high standards expected by himself. He added that he hoped that by stepping aside early, he'd give his successor a decent chance to take United back to the top. McLean arrived 2 years ago this week after a brief spell at Raith Rovers and a disappointing time at Hearts. His greatest successes came at Motherwell, consistently challenging the old firm and winning the Scottish Cup. He quickly turned things round at United, a third-place finish the season before last, arousing memories of great United days under Tommy's brother Jim. With relegation only just avoided last year and a winless start to this season, McLean has fallen on his sword. The man to pull a new sword from the stone will be Paul Sturrock, a United legend in his own right and, until today, manager of Tayside neighbours St Johnstone. Saints resisted moves by Hibs last year. United's pulling power is far greater. Yeah, and ironically, it was Tommy McLean's brother Jim, the Dundee United chairman, who made the announcement.
Mr Tommy McLean has stepped down as manager of Dundee United Football Club by mutual agreement with the board of directors. This agreement was reached recently from a frank and detailed discussion between the board and Mr McLean. Mr McLean has been a loyal and valued servant to Dundee United Football Club, and the board wishes to record its heartfelt thanks for all his efforts.
Struggling without a win and second bottom spot in the Premier League. The move has been welcomed by pressure group United for Change, but they say they'll still be calling for changes at board level.
The drama began to unfold early this afternoon when Dundee United and Tommy McLean issued joint statements saying the manager was leaving by mutual consent. Appointed 2 years ago, the former Motherwell and Hearts boss took United to third place in the league and back into Europe in his first season. But after losing to Celtic in the league and the Coca-Cola Cup final last season, the club hit the downward spiral. Despite a major shake-up that saw them field almost a completely new team this season, there's been no improvement, with a defeat in the League Cup from 3rd Division Ross County appearing to be the final straw.
Obviously, Tom and I have been speaking for a long time, and this club, rightly in my opinion, expects more than the results and performances that we have got in the last 8 months. But we've got to remember that what was done in the past, and I would equally say that a manager's job is now almost impossible, and I'm very glad that I'm not one of them.
In his statement, Tommy McLean said, "I have never hidden from my responsibilities as a football manager, and I don't intend to do so now." Jim McLean said the decision had no bearing on the recent activities of pressure group United for Change. But the businessman they want to see on the Tannadice board says they'll still press for new faces at the top.
But as far as United for Change is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, we've been looking for changes off the field. We think that the board at Tannadice needs new direction, new innovation, new ideas, fresh thinking, and that has not altered regardless of the change of manager. Yes, we'll support the new manager, and if it's Paul Sturrock, we'll be delighted, but there's got to be changes above there.
Well, a short time ago, United confirmed that Paul Sturrock will in fact be the new manager. He was a key figure in the successful Tannadice team of the 70s and 80s that won 2 League Cups, the Premier League, and reached the final of the UEFA Cup. Since joining St Johnstone 5 years ago, he's taken them from a reasonable First Division side into a respected Premier League outfit that just missed out on a European place last season.
League. McLean joined Dundee United, where his brother Jim is chairman, almost 2 years ago. St Johnstone manager Paul Sturrock has been confirmed as McLean's successor at Tannadice. Tommy McLean joined his brother Jim at Tannadice in October '96, heralding a new era at the club. But after a promising start, Tommy's team hit rock bottom. A string of dismal results means only their Dens Park neighbours are keeping them off the foot of the Premier League. Today the club announced that Tommy was stepping down after reaching a mutual agreement with the board.
OK is my brother, but at the end of the day he's a manager, and managers live on results and performances, and unfortunately they've not been good enough for him, and they most certainly haven't been good enough for the supporters and the board.
It's now been confirmed that St Johnstone manager Paul Sturrock is to make a return to Tannadice as McLean's successor. While United fans were surprised at the timing of Tommy McLean's departure, most appear to welcome the news of the new man in charge.
I'm delighted. A great goal scorer, great footballer, and very much part of Tannadice.
We're needing a change, and Paul Sturrock's been a great ambassador for the club, and I think his heart's still there. I think he can do a lot for it.
Got a pedigree from Dundee United from as long as I can remember. Just glad to see him back there.
McLean's results have been pretty poor over the last few weeks. I mean, getting knocked out of the cup in a fair wee team, it's pretty obvious he had to go.
In a statement, Tommy McLean said he hoped his departure at this stage of the season would give his successor a chance to take Dundee United back to the top of Scottish football.
After the resignation this afternoon of Tommy McLean, former United player Sturrock has been team boss at St Johnstone for the last 5 years. Tommy McLean said his decision to quit just 4 games into the Premier League season was reached by mutual agreement with the United board. Brother Jim, the club chairman, revealed Tommy was now finished with football management. After less than 2 years at Tannadice and barely beyond the end of August, the axe fell for Tommy McLean. Wielding it was his brother.
It's difficult sacking anybody if that was the case in any of the 3 managers that they have left the club. But I can assure you this was mutually agreed, because Tom is and has been a supporter of Dundee United since I walked in this door. And OK is my brother, but at the end of the day he's a manager, and managers live on results and performances, and unfortunately they've not been good enough for him, and they most certainly haven't been good enough for the supporters and the board.
As Tommy McLean left Tannadice, he issued a statement. He said, "The board and I have reached a mutual agreement which allows me to stand down as manager of Dundee United Football Club. Managers are judged on their results and team performance, and latterly the team has not consistently achieved the high standards expected by me, the board and supporters of this club. I have never hidden from my responsibilities as a football manager, and I do not intend to do so now."
Tommy McLean has got a huge amount of experience in the game. Do you think he'll be back involved at some stage in the future?
He will not be involved in management, I can assure you on that, and I'm really glad for that. But management now, I'm really glad that I'm not involved in football management. I personally couldn't do it now with the way you have to work with agents and the attitude of players now. I think that the job now is almost impossible.